You're over there, bloody hell. Hey Third, now I do these things, I'm like, oh shit, I was sleeping about half an hour ago. Now I just couldn't come on live, but you know what? If we can get an hour out of this, fantastic. Listen, thank you very much for anyone that's tuned in tonight. We've got Mr. Alex. I'm going to try and pronounce your surname, Alex. Alex Constantino. Constantino? Alec Constantino. How's that? Good evening, Alex. Mr. Steve's Gaming. Evening, Steve. I hope you're feeling a lot better, mate. You've had a pretty shit week for many reasons. I hope you're feeling better, Steve. Honestly, you know what? That's a problem with life. Sometimes things just seem to kind of happen. They all seem to kind of come in droves. Yeah. Hope you're feeling better. LFC, how are you, man? We'll not talk about the football. Yeah, let's get the elephant out of the room. Scotland are shit. Nah, you know what? Scotland aren't shite. The thing is about Scotland, we are a much... I mean, people, what we need to remember is England have got about 45 million. Scotland have got... Is it 8 million? Let's do a quick Google. Let's see how many... What is the population of Scotland? Population Scotland. I'm sure is it 8 million? There you go. It's 5.45 million. And the population, let's have a quick look. There you go. Scotland have 5.5 million. England have 56 million. So there are more than 10 times the population. So you can't possibly expect to be as good. Don't get me wrong, some small countries, I mean, like especially the rugby, you've got like New Zealand, you've got small countries who are good at football. Denmark's good at football. Sadly, Scotland don't fall in that category. The thing is, and this is a mental fact, up until Did we qualify for the... Yeah, we did. We qualified for the Euros a few years ago. The last time Scotland qualified for a tournament was in 1998. So there was actually there's people who are 20 years old who've never in their lifetime known Scotland to qualify. But you know what? We've been doing bloody well. We've played, I think, 11 games and we've not lost one. I think we've only conceded something like 2 goals. And we're all going, oh, we're great, we're great, we're great. And then we play England and we get pumped stupid. And you know, because England have got a fantastic team, your manager's shite. I think if they got a decent manager, I think England could actually go a lot further. They could win the World Cup. There's no reason why they shouldn't win the World Cup or the bloody Euros, whatever it is. So, you know, I don't know why I know why we played you guys. It was 150th match, or was it 150 years since the first game? I don't know, but anyway, yeah, so we're all saying, oh, Scotland's got a great team, and then we get beat 3-1 with England, and we're like, we're shite. Anyway, I know obviously Steve's watching this. Steve, like myself, doesn't like football. I don't mind watching international football, but that's about as far as it goes. So anyway, the weather, holy shit. I mean, last week, was it not last week, the week before? It was, I'm sure when I came home from my work, I went home at lunchtime, it was like 27 degrees. Yesterday, it was 4 degrees. 4 degrees, fucking hell. I mean, it's like 22 degrees colder in the space of a week. What's going on? Why am I talking so high pitched? I don't know. Don't know why. I do that when I get excited. National animal for England and national animal for Scotland, and also the national tree. Oh, right, okay. The national tree for England is the English oak, and the national tree for Scotland is the Scots pine. There you go. So come on, folks. What is the national animal for England and Scotland? Let's have a quick wee swatch. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Gregory. Good evening, Alan, from me and the missus. Love from us both. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Lovely. You know, what other YouTuber has people saying lovely things about them like that? Yeah, so anyway, the weather's been completely shit. It's been pissing with rain. It's been cold. I've actually got my heating on. Which isn't something I really wanted to do, you know, when you think of how much it costs. I don't want to know the weather. Apparently it's 90% chance of rain tomorrow. So it's been really, really cold. Cold and nasty. But the good thing about cold weather is you can stay in and play video games and not have any, don't have any shame. You don't have to feel, you know, when it's nice outside, you think, well, I'm sitting in here with the curtains closed, making YouTube videos, playing video games, and you feel kind of, oh, I'm wasting, I should be outside. That's a kind of thing that harks back from when you're a kid. You know, anytime you got nice weather, your mum, or wasn't your dad, your mum would say, oh, you should get outside, it's nice weather. You know, you were chased outside, and that kind of sticks with you. You know, you even going into adulthood, when it's a nice day, you kind of feel that you should be outside. I don't actually know what it does. Does it make you healthy? Possibly, no, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, listen, this is going to be, I've got questions there. Come on, you're not exactly doing very well on the guessing. I'm just going to tell you the national animal of England is the Barbary lion. What the hell is a Barbary lion? I've heard of a lion. A Barbary lion? Don't know. And the national animal, I mean, you're never going to get this. The national animal of Scotland is a unicorn. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I've not got any, I've got some questions from last week, which I'm going to go through. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, let me, hang on, 2 ticks. I just always like to have a quick wee look and see who's actually watching. Just give me 2 ticks, folks. If there's anything you want me to talk about or anything, there's 17 watching, wonderful. That's great. If there's anything you want me, my thoughts on or whatever, let me know. Play Blackpool. That's in about 4 weeks' time, I think it is. Is any of you guys going down to play Blackpool? I know one of the guys regulars on the channel, Colin Jones, he's going down. I can't. I'm actually going away on holiday that week. If I had been going, I was going to be doing the talks. I can't go, so they've got a guy and his wife who are going to be doing the talks. I don't know who he is. Apparently he's quite big on Twitch, which I'm not interested in Twitch. I know some of my friends do Twitch things. To me, Twitch is to YouTube what Instagram is to Facebook. I'm an old bastard. I'm an old fart. You know, I use Facebook and I use YouTube. Twitch is just like too fangly and complicated for me. I've got enough. Why am I all blurred? Hang on. Do you notice that? If I sit back here, I'll probably get nice and sharp. There you go. I'm now focused. You'll notice that the curtains are sharp, but for some weird reason I'm a bit blurred looking. What was I talking about? I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Cheers, Craig. No, you know what? I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. I'm not aware of him, so I don't watch Twitch. Apparently the guy used to I think he used to like do some sort of live TV presenting, so he's probably a bit of a professional, and he's got his wife that kind of helps him out. I'm sure he'll do an absolutely cracking job. Depends on how he gets on. I may or may not be asked next year. We'll see. If I'm being honest, it doesn't really bother me. I mean, doing the talks is good fun. It's quite stressful. It takes a lot of work because you've got to get you've got to get the comments. You've got to get pull together all the questions and what have you. And then you've got the stress of doing it on the day. But you know what? I love doing these things. Really, really good. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't have talks at Glasgow. I mean, I would quite happily host them at Glasgow, but you know, until somebody asks me. So Paul's just saying here, F-Zero has just come out in the Switch. It was an amazing looking game in the SNES. Are there any other 90s games you'd like a modern remaster for? You know, it's an interesting one, that, because as we know, Nintendo, they've got their franchises, they've got their characters in games that every single bit of new hardware that comes out, they make a game. You're always going to have a Mario game, you're going to have a Yoshi game, you're going to have a Mario Kart. That's, you know, you're always going to have something like that. But for, I think the last console that Nintendo console that had an F-Zero was, I think it was the N6. Oh no, wait a minute, I'm sure the GameCube. I'm positive the GameCube. Did the GameCube have one? The N64 had an F-Zero. And I'm sure the GameCube had one. There was no F-Zero on the Wii or Wii U. I can't remember if the GameCube had one. I think something niggles me. Did it have it? Or did it? I'm sure there might have been some other game that was quite similar to that. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I mean, F-Zero, it was one of these games, you know, when you first saw it, it was mind-blowing, really pretty. And even now when you play it, it's got, you know, it's got great sound. Yes, it's not true 3D, obviously. It's just the way it presents itself. But it was a bloody impressive game. So it's coming out in the Switch. I don't know if it's a bit little too late, because there's been a lot of games, obviously things like Wipeout and what else. There's been loads of other kind of similar games that have come out. Is there any other 90s games you'd like a modern remaster of? One game that I've said before I'd like to see it, and it's probably going to be complete horseshit, but I would still like to see it just because, and that's Way of the Exploding Fist. And in fact, yeah, Way of the Exploding Fist, it's, to my mind, it is the quintessential beat 'em up on the Commodore 64. It's got music to die for. The atmosphere of the game, the sound effects, just awesome. It really was. And yeah, I know you can complete it with a leg sweep, but you know, who cares? It's a brilliant game. I mean, I remember seeing the review of it in Zap, and then I went up to Ray's computer shop, and he said he wasn't getting it in until I think it was a Wednesday, and I've still got it in my diary to this day. I've got a wee diary that I kept back in 1985, or was it 1984? I think it might be 1985, and I've got that particular day when I was waiting. My mate was going to come down and see me, but I asked him if he would pop in to the computer shop and buy it for me, and then I'd give him the money back. So yeah, I love Way of Exploding Fist. I know technically International Karate is a better game. It's got more. Has it got more moves? I don't know. Certainly more fluid. You know, technically it is a better game, but for my mind, Way of Exploding Fist was, love it, and I'd love to see. I would love it if somebody could recreate the game, but I don't want real people. I want the same style of graphics, but just better, more kind of upgraded, look a bit more realistic. It would have to have the same music as well. If you don't have the music, forget it. So yeah, I would like to see a Way of Exploding Fist, and I would also like to see an update of a vastly underrated game, Rocket Ball, on the Commodore 64. Great game. I mean, it was one, I don't even know, I can't remember for the life of me. I never bought it. I never actually saw it for sale as such. I must have got it on a compilation tape or something. It was a pirate game anyway. And yeah, I just loved it. I thought it was great. Here's the thing, what I'm going to do tonight is, yeah, Steve saying a remaster of Super Pipeline 2. Aye, you know what? That would be good. A remaster of it. It has to be mega. You've got to keep it mega arcade. It's got to be. Don't change the graphics too much. You know, it's got to be faithful to the original. You know, absolutely. I think Super Pipeline 2 is one of the best. Not just the best video games. Not just one of the best Commodore 64 games. It's one of the best video games ever, in my opinion. So I'd like to see a remake of that. It says Rocket Ball. For Apocalypse. Yeah, possibly. It'd be interesting to see it. Would it be better? Probably not, because as we know, has there ever been a time where they've brought out a remake of a film, or they've brought out an HD makeover of an old game, and the sort of HD, the newer one, is better? I don't think that's ever actually happened. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see that. So thanks for that question, Paul. LFC saying, why don't you play us some random gaming tunes? Yeah, I'm planning to do that tonight. I don't know, I'm actually not feeling particularly great. I'm not going to start talking about my my Cooksoul again, but I've hurt my shoulder. I think I might have mentioned it last week, and over the last couple of weeks, it's still been giving me a bit of jip. And today at work, I was like really sore shoulders. Just, you know, that way where you're kind of feeling kind of sore all over. I've been kind of like that all day. I'm feeling a wee bit better tonight, but I am a bit tired, so it's not going to be too late. Evening, Dell. So yeah, I'm planning to play some tunes. In fact, that's what I'm going to do, because when I make myself a cup of tea, it gets cold, so I'm going to put on some music. Let me have a wee look. I mean, a couple of weeks ago I was playing you some real music, you know, band music. I'm going to do that tonight, and there's going to be a slight theme for tonight. I'm going to pick tunes that I used to listen to when I was playing computer games, because back in the good old days, before Rob Hubbard and Martin Galway and all these guys came along, music was completely shit. on home computers, including the Commodore 64. It was diabolical. And so what we used to do is you would get out your vinyl and you would put your favourite album on. The thing is, you didn't have a lot of albums, so it was the same records that you played over and over and over again. So just for kind of shits and giggles, I'm actually going to play a couple of games as well. I might even give Exploding Fist and Rocket Ball a go, and then we'll play some Sid tunes that I liked, some early Sid tunes, and some other music as well. And we might, if you're good and you behave yourself, we might even throw in a little video TV program. How does that sound? Like I said, this reminds me of like a multicoloured swap shop or Tiswas. It's just a mashup of lots of things. So anyway, right, just the way this thing works. Hang on a second. Right, there we go. Yeah, the minute you put that on, that media thing on OBS, it starts playing the last thing you played. So I'm going to pick a tune. Let's have a wee look. Properties. Yeah, we can play some music. Oh, wait a minute. How can I do this? Wait a minute. I'm just gonna. How can I play a Sid? Yeah, just bear with me. Bear with me 2 ticks. In fact, I'm going to jump back to full. Hang on. There we go. Right. What I'm going to do. So what's been happening to you guys? I hope you're all doing all right. Hope your mum's feeling a bit better, Dale. Give her a big hug from me, please, mate. What am I looking for? What the hell's going on here? That does not look good. I've just tried to open up a folder and everything has gone white. Wait a minute. Right, there we go. Right, that's fine. What I should have really done is I should have picked a question. I could be talking about the question whilst doing this, but you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm just going to try and see if I can get this working. Oh, that's my alarm going off. Just give me 2 ticks. Game base. Right, C64 music. Right, I'm going to play some stuff what I like. This was stuff that I downloaded from the from CompuNet, which was a really kind of early. CompuNet was like the internet back in 1984, something like that. Where is it? There we go. This was by the Mighty Bog. Now I know you've heard these tunes before. Alright, I need to get this so you're actually going to be able to hear it. Right, I know you can hear that through the thing, but what I now need to do is I need to duplicate that like so. Just bear with me, folks. Bear with me, please. And then what I need to do is audio capture, I think. Is that going to capture it? Right, hopefully you're going to hear this. Let me know if you can't hear it. This is Graham Marsh, aka the Mighty Bog. So wait a minute, I can actually make this. I can make this full screen. Just bear with me. There we go. I'll put that like so. Transform. There we are. Right, hopefully you can hear. This is Mighty Bog, and this is Big in Japan. Hopefully you can hear this. Thanks, LFC. Cheers, Muppet Villa. Right, I think the problem with that, what do you call it, SID player, it doesn't actually tell you when it's wrapping round and it just keeps going. You've got to kind of stop it abruptly. But yeah, you know, I mean, that's a basic basic SID tune, but that was until the Mighty Bog came along with that album, which I downloaded off CompuNet. The Commodore 64 music was completely pants. It was rubbish. People didn't, you know, you didn't really get any 3-channel music. It was just rubbish. It was all like copies of, like, I don't know, classical tunes and that kind of stuff. And it was just garbage. And then the Mighty Bog came along and he put out this album. And granted, they're all copies of like tunes that were out back in the day, but you know, being like a Howard Jones fan, I'm going to let you hear one more, Marillion and all that kind of stuff. Getting to hear versions of the music that you were listening to in the album, played in the Commodore 64 was mind-blowing, and I played these tunes over and over and over again. I'm going to let you hear one more. Let me just go back to that. I'm going to let you hear one of the Howard Jones ones, which was a new song. If I can find it, there we go, bog. Right, this is a new song, and there's one here called New Song and New Soul Filtered. We'll just go for the original. Enjoy. Right, I'll just stop that abruptly. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, listening to that now, it does sound very, very basic. But again, you know, that came out, well, it came out in 1985, but that came out before Rob Hubbard and all these guys kind of jumped in the bandwagon and started showing us really what was possible with it. But, you know, it's just the nostalgia, the emotion and the feelings and all that kind of thing that I get when I listen to that again is just absolutely awesome. Listen, what we're going to do now is I'm going to jump over to the last week's Friday Waffle. I do have some questions somewhere. Right, okay, Brian. Evening, Brian. I don't think Brian's actually joined us. Congratulations on reaching 4,000 subscribers. When I saw Meme Meister 4K, I thought you had gone Ultra HD. I was watching a wee bit back. I was watching a wee bit of my Friday Waffle back last week, and I don't know if I like it looking as sharp as it does. You know, obviously I've got a decent camera. The world is not ready for Meme Meister in 4K. No, I think blurred is what we want to keep. Question time. I was looking at some of your old videos from the good old days of Squint Cam. Now, if you don't know what Squint Cam was, for the first probably year, if not even more than that, I used to use one of these, and I would have it set up in a little stand, and I just pointed it at the TV, and I tried to get it as straight and lined up as I possibly could, and it never worked. quite simply never worked. Excuse me. Yeah, from good old days of Squint Cam. And Brian noticed that pole position, my first arcade perfect my arse was pole position. It's got 16,700 views. That's very impressive. Is that your most viewed video ever? No, my most viewed video, let's see if I can find it. I don't actually know how to, I don't know how to do this. There's almost a way of doing it. I don't know. Library. Right, doesn't matter. Live streams, no, I've no idea. Podcast. Right, I don't know. No, my most viewed video that I can remember is it's a demo. It's me just I put a demo. I played a demo on the Commodore 64, and I think I just said that this was a mind blowing demo, and I don't know. I think that might be, I don't know. Oh, hang on, hang on. Top content. Wait a minute. If I change that to, how would I change that to all time? Right, hang on, 2 ticks. Lifetime. Yeah, there we go. My most watched video is called "How the Hell Did They Manage That?" Commodore 64 demo. I did that back in 2017. It's got 49,883 views, and my next most watched video was the Game Boy Advance fitted with a backlit screen. That was done back in 2014. So yeah, there you go. You can never really tell what's going to be viewed, what people like and what they don't like. Interesting. It's interesting to see that. And yeah, and Brian's saying here he would like to take part in the 12-hour live stream and hope we raise as much for charity as we did last time. Yeah, we managed to raise a whopping £1,000, which was absolutely fantastic. Just a little bit of sad news from sort of the live stream. We raised £1,000, and what I did was we split it into three, so it was quite literally £333. I gave a third to a community centre in my local town, which is for kids and disadvantaged adults, etc., just to kind of help give them some funds. We gave £333 to a hospice for kids. It's not a hospice as such, but it's a respite centre for kids who are terminally ill. We gave 333 quid, and the last 333 quid, it was a charity, another charity which was close to my heart, which was the Salvation Army. I know it's kind of religion, but the thing I like about the Salvation Army is they go out their way to help other people. You know, they really do. I think they do a great job. My granny and my grandparents, they were all in the Salvation Army. And anyway, the guy that I handed the 333 quid was a guy called Sandy, and he was a sort of friend of my girlfriend. I gave him the money, and I found out yesterday that he sadly passed away. He passed away with cancer about 2-3 days ago. So I was quite upset to hear that. So yeah, that was just anyway. Yeah, but you know, we'll get that 12-hour live stream. The plan is, I've been kind of thinking about it. I reckon I'm going to go for November. It gives quite a bit of time to maybe try and get a few things involved. I will think about what date it's going to be. So go for a date in November. It's probably going to be a Sunday afternoon, or Sunday afternoon. It's going to be like probably 8 in the morning till 8 at night on a Sunday. We'll have a think about it. So thanks, Brian. Right, Colin Jones, you've hit the nail on the head regarding Amazon. They treat the customer like royalty. What was I talking about again? I can't remember. I was talking about piss poor customer service. Is there any question here? Right, here we go. Waffle question. What's the best deal you've had on a classic computer, console or handheld purchase before, since the prices started shooting up? So, in other words, after the prices started shooting up, I'll be honest, Colin, I've not really bought, in fact I've not bought any, can you hear me by the way? I'm just, yeah you can, I'm conscious I'm still on the video scene rather than the what do you call it, the full screen webcam thing. Yeah, I've not really bought, since prices have quadrupled, I've not bought any, like, I'm trying to sell stuff rather than buy stuff. But I'll tell you my best kind of bargains when it comes to original hardware. There's been a couple of them. One of them was the Atari 800, the original tank one I call it, because it's got lots of metal in it and it weighs a flipping ton. I got the Atari 800. I got, was it 1 or 2 disc drives? Possibly. It might have been two. It might have been 2 disc drives actually. Loads of games. There was games in disc. There was games in tape. There was a tape recorder. Books, and an Atari 400. That was all in the box. Now, we didn't even, I don't think he even told me that he had an Atari 400. So I got all of that, Atari 800, Atari 400, discs, games, disc drives, tapes. I think there's joysticks as well. 100 quid. That would be, I don't know, that was a long time ago. It was maybe about 10 years ago, but 100 quid. And the last bargain I got was, there was a guy selling the what do you call it, the toaster, the 128 Spectrum toaster version, because it's got the kind of grill, it looks like you could put toast. I got that, and I think there was another 2 Spectrums, and I got that for, was it about 70 quid, and that would be maybe about, again, 10 years ago. Now these things go for an insane amount of money. I also got my first Vectrex. I got, I think I got about 9 games with it, and I think I paid about 100 quid for it. Now games go for 40, 50 quid. So anyway, yeah, but I've not been buying anything for a long time, Colin. Right, anyway, I think it's time for some music again. I'm going to play a proper tune. Now, listen, I completely understand that some people are tuning into this to listen to me talk bollocks and what have you. Then they're maybe going to tune in and go, why is he playing this song? That's what I do. So if you don't like the music, well, tough. It's, you know, I just want to try and keep it interesting. So I'm going to pick a tune, and again, this would be one of my favourite, this is one of my most played songs that I used to listen to when I played the Commodore 64 back in sort of 1984, 1985. So let me just go to this just now, pick this, let me find it. Da, 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 da. Right, yeah, this was one of the tunes that I listened to all the time. So I would be sitting, picture the scene, I'm sitting with my mullet, because I did have a mullet back in the day. I wasn't always like that. Yeah, sitting with my mullet, joystick in hand, playing my Commodore 6, probably playing, I don't know, Bruce Lee. So enjoy, hopefully.
Do you remember chalk hearts melting on a playground wall? Do you remember dawn escapes from moonwashed college halls? Do you remember the cherry blossom in the market square? Do you remember I thought it was confetti in our hair? By the way, didn't I break your heart? Please excuse me, I never meant to break your heart. So sorry, I never meant to break your heart, but you broke mine. Katie, is it too late to say I'm sorry? And Katie, could we get it together again? I just can't go on pretending that it came to a natural end. Katie, oh, I never thought I'd miss you. And Katie, I thought that we'd always be friends. We said our love would last forever, so how did it come to this bitter end? Do you remember barefoot on the lawn with shooting stars? Do you remember loving on the floor in Belsize Park? Do you remember dancing in stilettos in the snow? Do you remember you never understood I had to go? By the way, didn't I break your heart? Please excuse me, I never meant to break your heart. So sorry, I never meant to break your heart, but you broke mine. Kaylee, I just wanna say I'm sorry, but Kaylee, I'm too scared to pick up the phone, to hear you find another lover, to patch up our broken home. Kaylee, I'm still trying to write that love song. Kaylee, it's more important to me now you're gone. Maybe it will prove that we were right, or it'll prove that I was wrong.
Yeah, there you have it. Awesome. That just transfers me right back to 1985. Right, listen, what I'm going to do, I was talking about racquetball. If you've never heard of racquetball, I'm going to let you see it. I suppose it's based on rollerball, a film I've never actually seen before. Let me just jump across Mr. Webcam. There we are. Right, yeah, I'm going to let you see. Hopefully I've got it on the C64. Wayne is not Wayne's. Wayne. It was Wayne. Good evening, Wayne. Question: what's the worst experience you've had playing a computer game? Example: 2 of my friends got into a fight over International Karate Plus and never spoke to each other to this day. Has there been any disaster when I've been playing a computer game? Can't think of anything. I mean, there was one game which I'm going to play. I had, let me just go to full screen just now. I had, I wouldn't call him a mate. He was a guy who was at school with me, and we were in, we were in a lot of the same classes at high school, and he got to know that I had he got to know that I had a computer, and he like invited himself down to my house, and we ended up. He loved playing pool. I think he used to play in the pub. He was one of these guys. He was like 15 years old, but he was going into pubs long before that because he was quite tall, so he kind of looked a bit more kind of growing up. I looked about when I was 15. I looked about 10. Being a short arse didn't really help. But anyway, he got to know that I had this computer, and I told him that I had this pool game called Hustler, not the kind of top shelf magazine, the other type of Hustler. I don't know why I foolishly invited him down to the house, and it became a bit of an obsession for both of us for a long time, and we used to pull these all-nighters and just play Hustler. We became completely addicted to it, and we used to fall out over it all the time. Right, anyway, let's get back to the Mr. webcam. There we are. Right, I want to have a quick go. Let you see Rocket Ball. Hopefully it's on. Whoops, a daisy. I've just heard that apparently the Edge 64 core on the Mister is actually coming on in leaps and bounds, so it's looking good. Now I know you'll be saying you don't like the N64. That is true, but there's a few games, there's a few decent games out for it. Hopefully you enjoyed the Nice and Nasty podcast with Mr. Nick Sherman. It was an absolute privilege to have him on. I mean, I've known Nick for probably a couple of years now. He's been a kind of regular on the channel. He takes parties in Discord. He's written all these awesome games, so it was great to kind of hear people like him who are clever and can program their own games. It's always interesting when you hear what games they wanted to play. What am I looking for? Rocket Ball. Hopefully it's going to be here. Rocket Ball, there we are. Bang! Yeah, this game kind of went completely under the radar. I mean, what was the name of the company? IJK? Yeah. Right, how do we... that just changes colours. 5, there we go, that's the... Right, so it goes up to 6. That's a strange top level. It's a bit like Spinal Tap. The volume goes to 11, this one goes to level 6. Right, I think we'll... it's been a long time, so I'm going to play it in level 2. Yeah, let's go. I mean, looking at the graphics, they look shite, but it's an awesome game. It was one of the few games that I could beat most people on. Come on, where's my player about? Where's my player? There he is. Oh shit. Right, wrong joystick, swap joysticks. No, right. Oh, what happened there? Right, let's start again, I think. Yeah, I'd like to see an up-to-date version of this. It's just awesome. Right. The idea being is you've got to pick up the ball and throw it into the opponent's goal, and that is it. So I'm yellow and he's blue, so he's got to throw it into yellow. There you go, he just scored, the bastard. You can't punch. Yeah, you can lash out with your arms. You can't kick. You can take somebody down by just running into them, or you can punch to the right like that, or punch to the left. How do you punch to the left? I can't remember actually. There we go, left or right. And it's going to be 2-0 here, I think. Oof. It's not an easy game to play, it's actually a lot more fun. Obviously playing it with, oh come on. Playing it against bugger. Yeah, it's much more fun playing against somebody. It's going to go out, I think. Oh, piss off. Yeah, it's a lot harder than I remember it to be, but oof. We'll play it until I can hopefully score. Damn it. But once you get the feel for the game, it's awesome. Right, come on. Oh, bugger. Right. Take your time. Right, take your time. Let your guys protect you. That's what you want. Now, I'm kind of cheating here a wee bit. I'm going a bit slow. Come on, take them out, that'll do it. Hey! Right, next goal's a winner, I think. It's a great game, Craig, honestly. You need to play it. Like I said, it was a game, I think it got reviewed. I think, you know what, I think it got released on budget. Oh, he's going to score, the bastard. Oof. Yeah, I think it got released on budget, like, years after it came out. And it got a pretty crap review, but... See, I'm even level 1. Come on. Oh, bugger. Come on, get it. Bugger off. Right, that's enough of that. Right, full screen webcam, get back to that again. Right, I'll just turn that off for a second. So yeah, that is a great game. Right, I think we'll get back to questions, folks, before we put some other tune on. Right, okay, Golden Gamer. Tony, I don't think Tony's in tonight. Tony's a good lad. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Alan. Good evening, Alan. Another few questions for your Friday Waffle. Some gaming related questions. Number 1, have you ever visited other parts of Scotland like Glasgow or other cities in Scotland? And if so, your views, thoughts on them? Yeah, I've visited most parts of Scotland. There's not many places in Scotland I haven't been to. I mean, I think I've been to all the big towns. What have I been to? I've been to Inverness, Aberdeen, Glasgow. I mean, I'm in Glasgow at least probably once every couple of weeks. Edinburgh, I'm in there a lot of the time. Dundee, I was in Dundee last weekend. Glasgow, now, well, believe it or not, my family are from Edinburgh. They all come from the sort of the east. And there is a bit of a kind of rivalry between Glasgow and Edinburgh, which annoys me a wee bit, because I says my family are from Edinburgh. People say, oh, Glasgow's a friendlier city, and I would have to agree. We moved to Livingston just before I was born, so I'm not from Edinburgh, and whilst my family are all from Edinburgh, I've spent more time in Glasgow. I've always kind of worked in Glasgow. I probably know more people from Glasgow, and personally I think I'm not going to say it's a nicer city. I'll put it this way, here's the thing. If I was going to be trapped or if I was on a night out in Glasgow and Edinburgh at 2 o'clock in the morning and I was going to get a taxi home and I discovered I didn't have my wallet, I'd lost my wallet, I didn't have any money on me, what city would I rather be in that predicament in? And it would be Glasgow. And here's the reason. There's far more chance of somebody in Glasgow giving you money than Edinburgh. The thing about Edinburgh city centre, there's really people, it's a tourist place. It's a bit like London, it's just tourists. People don't really live in the centre of Edinburgh. They do in the outskirts, but Glasgow is different. Glasgow is a friendly city. I know it gets a kind of bad press, which I think is unfair. But yeah, Glasgow and Edinburgh. Edinburgh is very scenic. It's sad because I was talking about it last week how Princess Street, which is the kind of main, it's like the main street of Edinburgh. It's a lot of the shops are shut down now, and it's sad because it was always a really kind of it's a city everybody has to kind of visit at some point. You've got Edinburgh Castle. It's got a lot of history, the same as Glasgow. But yeah, lots of nice places. You need to get your ass up here, Tony. And yeah, I'll. Oh, really? That's interesting, Craig? Because you kind of come from that neck of the woods. You reckon that Glasgow was friendlier 10 years ago? You know what I think, Craig? That is just because of society. We've become very, very selfish. People are not as friendly as they once were. It's sad. Anyway, right, number 2 from Tony. Have you ever played role-playing games? And if so, do you have any favourites? The only kind of role-playing games that I ever really played would be is it the Zelda game in the SNES, can't remember the name of it, Link to the Past I think it was called. Loved that. Never quite completed it. Did play that. And what was the game that I used to play I quite liked? Ultima 4. It was one of the Ultima games on the C64. It got reviewed by Zap and it got a really good review, and I played that. It was in a kind of big massive box and it was actually pretty good. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump back to since we're talking. Oh, you know what? I did. Yeah, Fairy Tale Adventure. Well remembered, Dale. One of the first games I saw in Amiga before I got it was Fairy Tale Adventure, and it utterly blew my mind. It was stunning to look at. The sound was incredible. It was one of these games. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put it on. I'm going to let you see Fairy Tale Adventure. It probably hasn't kind of aged particularly well, but let's have a wee look. This game's just, what the hell? Hang on, Princess Peach. Mr. Webcam. There we go. Dale has a memory like any elephant. Right. Yeah, let's have a quick look. Computer. I never, that's a kind of a common theme in my game playing habits. I never complete anything. There's very few games that I've actually completed. The problem is I just get bored very easily. Is this mouse switched on? By title. But yeah, Fairy Tale Adventure was an absolute phenomenal game. I think, did it not come out? Did it not get released on the Mega Drive as well? Something niggles me that it did. And that music, I just thought was incredible. was Kevin with his codpiece. New game seeker would guide the brothers to their destiny. You would aid them and give them directions. Answer then these 3 questions, improve your fitness. Right, I'm assuming this was to get around the piracy, and I don't know if this is going to work. Make haste, but take. Oh, there we go. A huge game. Ah, even Mad Commodore. It came out in the C64. I need to try the C64 actually. Now, what I liked about it is, I mean, well, for starters, the graphics look lovely. You could go inside, and you'll notice the way the music changes as well. And you can use the mouse to, wrong mouse, I'm using my Amiga mouse, where is it? There we go. Look. Hidden object. Ooh. How do we take it? I've got a bird totem, whatever the hell that is. Marble Madness was the first game I ever saw a picture of for the Amiga. It was the first Amiga game I ever saw. And yeah, I just remember being blown away with how good it was. Jeff Minter was talking about Marble Madness. It just looked incredible. Jade Skull. Right, anyway, I'm not gonna sit and play this all night. I'm just gonna let you see how the music changes. When I played this, I don't know why, but I always stuck rigidly to the path. I don't know if it's my imagination, but is this playing a wee bit quicker than it would normally play? How do I... Oops, how do I look? There we go, we're getting attacked. Notice how the music changes. There we go, have it. Oh my god, yeah, Mortal Manor, I remember that in the Atari ST, and it actually had speech, and it was bloody awful. It was it French? Is it Laura ICL, whatever it was called, did it, I think? But playing this game for the first time, it just felt like, it kind of felt like you could go anywhere. Probably looks quite basic now, but oh shit, there's deaths. You know, for an early game it was impressive looking. Can we kill these guys through that? No, we can't. So anyway, yeah, that was Fairy Tale Adventure. That was an awesome game. Right, I'm going to get back to the questions again if I can. Right, tell you what, I'm going to play another tune just because I can. Let's come back to... Oh, hang on. stop. There we go. Right, I'm going to play another tune. Again, this is a classic 80s tune. But it just takes me back to a really happy time, back to playing the Commodore 64 and what have you. So let me just find it. Okay, enjoy, hopefully.
How can it be that a love carved out of caring, fashioned by fate, suffers so
I'm actually a rocker now, I mean, I'm heavy metal, but I still love the 80s. I loved all the best Howard Jones, all that stuff, the Cats on Maneuvers.
it's a part of life's imperfections. One of the years, is it
Still
so
listen to the 80s
wrong
stuff. It was Mackie
to be
here.
human after all?
Thing about when you obviously play music,
There is something
your
about
spice and what have you, but I don't really care.
baby,
This
so right. I wouldn't be without you, baby. Tonight, if ever our love was concealed, no one can say that we didn't feel million things and a perfect dream of life. Gone, fragile but free. We remain tender together, not so in love. It's not so wrong. We're only human after all. These changing keys, they are to your confusion. All you need to feel the time that told the truth. Because there's something about you, baby, so right. I couldn't live without you, baby. There's something about you, and I couldn't live without you.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see them. They were one of the first. I think I saw Howard Jones first. Then I saw Chris Burr, and then I saw Level 42 back in the 80s. They were great. Right, to continue with Tony's questions. Favourite online retailer besides Amazon? If you have any, that is. I mean, I have to say Amazon are great. You know, they deliver a service that is exceptional, fast delivery. You know, if you've got any problems at all, you can return it, and within 5 minutes you'll get a refund. So great. What other? I mean, eBay. I still do use eBay from time to time, because you can buy stuff that you just can't get anywhere else. Any other kind of online retailers? Can't think of any. I mean, I do buy stuff, but I'll be honest, if I'm going to buy anything, the first place I go to is Amazon, because it's so good. You can get, I've never actually had next day delivery, but you'll get, sorry, I have had next day delivery. I've never had same day delivery, but next day delivery, you pay your $7.99 for your Prime, you get music, you get films, you get free delivery. Screwfix. I do use Screwfix a lot at work, Paul, to be fair. So, no, not really, Tony. I says I do use eBay from time to time. Number 4, are there any retro computers you still want to get for your collection? I would say no. Don't get me wrong, if somebody was giving away computers, I would take it. But there's no computer that I want to buy now. I'm going back the way I'm now wanting to get rid of stuff rather than collect. I mean, one of my kind of holy grail for computers, apart from the Sharp X68000, which you'll never get, was always Atari 800. And I mentioned earlier on, I was lucky enough to get that in a great deal about 10 years ago. But no, there is no computer I'm looking for now, Tori. If somebody had stuff to give away, wanted to, a good home, I would take it. But there is no computer that I'm really wanting to get now, mate. Congratulations on your red belt self-defense, as you mentioned in your last Friday Waffle. Do you have the intention to keep going until you get to black belt in your chosen self-martial arts? That's the plan, Tony. I mean, I've been doing it now for. I started January last year, so I've been doing it for about a year and a half. Got to red belt. That's like 3 belts in. Still got another 2 belts until you get to black belt, but it would be at least, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 years before I could possibly go for black belt. It depends how I am. I mean, I've got a sore shoulder just now, and you start to think to yourself, maybe I'm getting too old for it. I don't know. If I was to kind of sustain an injury, then that would kind of scupper it. But I would love to get to black belt. I mean, to do that at this age, for me, I would be like, wow, I could die happy. So that's the plan, Tony. That's the plan, mate. I'll keep at it until my body says no. Yeah, listen, Tony, thank you so much for doing that. Right, listen, folks, I'm going to. Do you want to watch a program? I think we're going to put a program on. Let me have a quick look and see how we're doing for time. It's 9:30. I don't want to. Yeah, I've been going an hour and 20 minutes. Let's try and find something. What can we find? Right, let's have a wee look and see what we can watch together. I do have a thing called Watch with Main Meister, and it's where we watch TV programs together. Simple as that, and I'm annoying, and we'll talk over it. Hang on, let me get the right thing. Files, no, it's not that. Yeah, it's Friday. What else have we got on? Right, let me think. What can we watch? Do we just pick something completely random? Tell you what, I think I've played this before, but I'm going to do it again. This was a promo video that when was this one came out? This was a video that W.H. Smith had running in their shops. W.H. Smith promo, and this was from October 1988. Let's watch this. Oh, hang on. There we are.
Ocean, the brand leader, presents We Are the Champions, a fantastic collection of chart-topping games in a special boxed pack. International Karate Plus, an amazing update of the greatest karate beat-em-up yet. In the knife-edge world of the vigilante, there is no place to rest. Play Renegade, play mean. Rampage, the game where nice guys don't get a look in. Barbarian, the ultimate warrior. Can you vanquish the forces of darkness and free the princess? Super Sprint brings the best driving excitement ever to be experienced on home computers. We Are the Champions, out now on the Spectrum, Commodore or Amstrad for only £9.95 per set, also available on disc. US Gold presents an arcade masterpiece. Hit the highway with Road Blasters and you're on the road to supercharged destruction. This coin-op conversion of Atari's hit arcade machine gives you out-and-out war on four wheels. A final conflict between good and evil, being half road race and half battle. Thunderous world of destruction, the ultimate race against death. Road Blasters delivers all the gripping action and high-speed thrills of the arcade spectacular.
Yeah, arcade.
Grand Slam proudly present England's premier striker in the all-action soccer simulation, Peter Beardsley's International Football, featuring brilliant animated sprites, 8-way scrolling with referee, commentator, crowd celebrations and many more features. Stage your very own European tournament on your computer. Play your group matches whilst the computer authentically simulates the other results and qualify for the final stages of the tournament. Hold your nerve and your skill can make your team champions of Europe. Peter Beardsley's International Football, the best piece of soccer action since Match of the Day. US Gold presents an arcade masterpiece. The biggest selling computer game in 1987 is still tearing up the streets in 1988. original soundtrack from the coin-op.
Yeah, on the day. You'll notice it only showing a couple of tiny little segments.
Outrun, still taking your breath away.
Clever editing. Dynamic with a Y? Maybe not.
Dynamic presents Game Over 2. Arcos, the hero of the rebellion against the Empress Gremla, has been imprisoned. It is your mission to rescue him. As you approach the prison planet Phantis, your ship will be attacked by kamikaze and reconnaissance bombers, apart from the perils underneath the surface. A clonal Adrek will take you across the underground lake, where you must obtain an access code to continue.
Game over. 2.
You must steal weapons and cross forests and swamps, overcoming new hazards as you advance. A helicopter takes you to the deepest levels of the planet, where Arcos awaits your arrival. Game Over 2 includes free Game Over on Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore 64 and MSX, also available on PC and Atari ST.
Guys, I've never actually played that. Probably never saw it either. I think it's as hard as bollocks as well.
Konami's latest coin-op hit bursts onto your computer screen. Beyond infinity lies the evil galaxy dominated by the forces of the despotic Salamander. A hero must persuade his compatriots to join him on a journey into hell and beyond. To defeat this devil, they must overcome forces mankind cannot perceive in his wildest nightmares. Organic monsters of destruction, nuclear spiders, infernos burning like raging seas in torment, caverns of despair, demons beyond dimensions of our minds. You are that hero. Now is the time. Pilot your spacecraft on this lethal mission with skill and strategy to amass the weapon systems vital to your success. Screen after screen of exciting arcade action in this faithful conversion of Konami's follow-up to Nemesis. Sci-fi shoot-'em-up at its best. Salamander takes you a stage further.
It was a great conversion on this 64. Alright, that's lovely to make it the whole version. I love it.
Thrills, action, excitement. That's what we at Mediagenic believe your customer wants. Take the incredible American F-14 Tomcat, one of the world's deadliest and most efficient fighting machines. Afterburner featured this plane and became the arcade sensation of the year from Sega Enterprises. Afterburner is destined to become the biggest selling computer game this Christmas. Yes, the home computer sensation of the decade from Activision.
Overacting, but anyway. There we go, right?
your job to zap the enemy and survive. Commodore 64, Amstrad CPC, Atari ST, Amiga, and MSX. Would you buy a missile from this man? Or even this man? Whichever side you're on, SDI from Activision will provide the thrills. SDI, Strategic Defense Initiative, another arcade hit licensed from Sega Enterprises, will push your offensive and defensive skills to the edge.
Watch the game before you buy it, and then you go this thing on this thing, and then you go giving us some screenshots.
Now, the odds are even. You against them. Fast, skillful, exciting. Star Wars was never like this. Commodore 64 and Atari ST. We are staying in the far reaches of outer space for our next game from Electric Dreams. R-Type, the overnight arcade success, licensed from IREM Corporation. In R-Type, a desperate battle is being fought out in the limitless unknown dimensions of space, which are being contaminated and corrupted by the evil power of the Bido Empire. It is inhabited by weird creatures whose very sight inspires fear. But mankind is fighting back and sends into battle the sophisticated R9 fighter plane to crush the enemy. It's fast, it's fun, and it's a monster hit. Available soon on Spectrum, Commodore 64, Atari ST, Amiga, and Amstrad CPC.
Ocean presents Where Time Stood Still. The plane is descending rapidly. Jarrett, struggling with the controls, searches desperately for a possible landing site to bring his plane and fellow companions down safely. They tumble from the plane wreckage to find themselves on a strange plateau, nestled between the peaks of the Greater Himalayas. The only way out of their predicament is via a high mountain pass somewhere on the other side. But everything is not quite as it seems. Protected by the mountains from both climatic and other outside influences, this land has remained undisturbed for millennia. When your party is attacked by dinosaurs and harassed by cannibals, it becomes apparent that no Western man has been here and lived to tell of it. You must guide your party along tortuous mountain paths, across rivers and bottomless chasms, through swamps and forests. Learn to survive in a world untouched by modern life. A world frozen in time.
Yeah, Spectrum and Atari ST. I wonder why it never came out in the Amstrad.
US Gold presents History in the Making. In just 4 short years, home computer entertainment has grown into a furious and exciting industry. No company has done more to advance this cause than US Gold. And to celebrate this, the games that made US Gold great are now available in one memorable collection. History in the Making. 15 titles that chart the course of computer game software history. Experience 15 all-time classics of the computer game world that made US Gold the world's #1 software publisher. And witness History in the Making. History in the Making. Available for Commodore 64, Spectrum and Amstrad.
Not the best advert in the world, you don't get a single screenshot or anything, but aye, great compilation that.
Hang on in there, because here it comes. Super Hang-On from the powerhouse of software Electric Dreams. Bursting onto your home screen with dazzling graphics and pulse-pounding gameplay is Super Hang-On on the Atari ST, the greatest ever motorcycle racing game. With 4 soundtracks, 4 skill levels, and 48 thrilling stages, you can burn rubber across 4 continents. But watch out! At an awesome 280 kilometers per hour, in comes the nitrous oxide injection, kicking you up to an incredible 324 kilometers per hour. At speeds like these, you've got to stay cool to stay hot. ST Actions quoted Super Hang-On as the definitive racing game ever for the ST. C&VG claimed it made Outrun look pathetic. Team Pepsi Suzuki endorsed this game at this year's 1988 500cc World Motorcycle Racing Championships. Now it's your turn. Now available on Atari ST, also available on Spectrum, Amstrad, cassette and disc.
That was a good game. Right, we're only going to get to see the bloody box.
From FTL in the United States comes Dungeon Master. Step into the world of Dungeon Master and see fantasy come to life in the best role-playing game for any microcomputer. Superb, a role-player's dream, wrote the games machine. The 16-bit future, said Ace. Praise has been heaped upon praise for this astonishing game, where after selecting your party of up to 4 adventurers, you embark on a fantastic journey into the depths of the dungeons of Anais, the realm of the Grey Lord, in search of the Fire Staff. As Theron of Viborg, your task is to guide your adventurers against the perils that the Grey Lord has prepared. The journey is long and fraught with hazards. Only your skills as wizard and warrior will help you as your party is assaulted by the dreaded creatures that lurk within, and by the puzzles and conundrums that are placed to deceive you. There has never been a game like Dungeon Master for Atari ST and soon for Commodore Amiga. Chaos strikes back. Further dungeons will be available soon. Check press for details. Live the fantasy with FTL.
Guess I'm not going to get any screenshots of that one either, no. Are we going to get screenshots of this one? Are we? Possibly not. Love these music, eh? War type game, strategy
US Gold and SSI have joined forces to bring you the official Advanced Dungeons & Dragons computer product, presenting Heroes of the Lance, the first action game combining state-of-the-art computer graphics, depth of play, plus an addictive quality you'll find hard to beat. This unique action game places the destiny of 8 characters in your hands. The quest to retrieve the discs of Mishakal. As you enter into the sunken ruins of Zaksaroth, your adventure begins. Making full use of all your character's abilities, you must scour the numerous corridors in search of the dragon's lair to defeat Kishan, the evil black dragon. On your journey, you will encounter a whole host of dangerous creatures, including draconians, evil winged creatures, some with the ability of magic. Heroes of the Lance is available on all major formats. Also available is Pool of Radiance, the first computer role-playing epic from SSI based on AD&D's Forgotten Realms for the Commodore 64. Firebird presents Intensity. Intensity, a fast and addictive game involving the rescue of colonists from the beleaguered Canis Major space station orbiting Sirius. The Terran Exploration Company is under attack by a new and alien life form. The colonists decide to abandon station and you move in to help. Pilot a drone and a skimmer around the various levels of the station. The pace is frantic as you skim across the station surface, landing the drone, picking up survivors, and then taking off to the next exit. Your skill and fast reflexes are the scientists' only hope. Pilot your craft through increasingly complex levels, skimming over the aliens to destroy them. A compelling game by Andrew Braybrook, requiring skill and a great degree of manual dexterity. Intensity, available for the Commodore and Spectrum.
For the Commodore. More of their shit conversions.
Attention all Pac-Maniacs! Courtesy of Namco Atari, Grand Slam are proud to announce Pac-Mania, a superb conversion of the coin-op to the home computer. Pac-Man is back in action, but with a new twist, bounce power. A quick trip round the neighborhood is all it takes for Pac-Man to realize that there have been some changes made. Now there's Blocktown, Pac-Man's Park, Sandbox Land, and Jungly Steps. 2 new ghosts, Sue and Jumpy, both with unique personalities, keep Pac-Man on his toes. He really must utilize his speed and cunning to outwit these annoying creeps. Even with a real challenge ahead of him, Pac-Man is glad to be back in action again. A new colourful 3D playfield with some real snappy upbeat music reminds Pac-Man that Pac-Land is a pretty nice place to live. Pac-Mania, coming soon on Atari ST, Amiga, Commodore, Amstrad Spectrum and MSX.
What is it called? Commodore rather than
Imagine the name of the game presents Tato Coin-Op Hits. Renegade, rebel without a cause, from the city subways to the gangland ghettos, play Renegade, play mean. Arkanoid, frantic action and split-second timing combine to produce the most addictive and compulsive game. Flying Shark, hot from the arcades, the definitive conversion of this shoot-em-up. Blast your way into arcade history. Rastan the Warrior King, take on a world of dangers including the living dead. Is it more than you can handle? Arkanoid Revenge of Doe, Vouse 2 speeds towards the threatening alien presence before it can extract its revenge. Bubble Bobble, meet Bob and Bob, 2 of the busiest beasties you ever saw in Tato's #1 arcade hit. Legend of Cage, help Cage in his quest to the Dragon King's palace to rescue Princess Kiri. Slap Fight, superb graphics and split-second timing give this game an addictive edge. Tato Coin-Op Hits, available for the Commodore, Spectrum and Amstrad.
Arcade compilation of the year, apparently.
The Barbarian is back, and the legend continues in Barbarian 2, The Dungeon of Drax, the sequel to the smash hit game Barbarian. Once more the mighty warrior comes forth to do battle against the evil Drax, but this time he's joined by the sword-wielding Princess Mariana. This time, fight the most incredible monsters in dozens of different locations as you play either the Barbarian or the Princess. Barbarian 2, The Dungeon of Drax from Palace Software for the Commodore 64, Spectrum, Amstrad CPC, Atari ST, and Amiga. Konami's latest coin-op hit bursts onto your computer screen. Beyond infinity lies the evil galaxy dominated by the forces of the despotic Salamander. A hero must persuade his compatriots to join him on a journey into hell and beyond. To defeat this devil, they must overcome forces mankind cannot perceive in his wildest nightmares. Organic monsters of destruction, nuclear spiders, infernos burning like raging seas in torment, caverns of despair, demons beyond dimensions of our minds. You are that hero. Now is the time. Pilot your spacecraft on this lethal mission with skill and strategy to amass the weapon systems vital to your success. Screen after screen of exciting arcade action in this faithful conversion of Konami's follow-up to Nemesis. Sci-fi shoot-'em-up at its best. Salamander takes you a stage further.
One more game, I think, and then we'll come out.
Imagine the name of the game presents Target Renegade. Every move you make, every step you take, they're watching you. Fight your way through the back alleys, the car parks. Fight your way through the villainous community, the skinheads, the beastie boys, the bouncers. This is just the tip of the iceberg on your chilling quest to confront Mr. Big. Matt, your brother, investigating Mr. Big, was caught in the act and was punished by him in the usual gruesome style. And now your heart pounds as you consider your alternatives. An eye for an eye. The phrase batters your subconscious. The plan is set. You move into action through the various levels to your final confrontation. Opponents vary on each level, so strategy must be learned if you are to succeed. Everyday objects may be used as weapons, but don't lose them, as they can be used against you. Your objective is to survive through the stages to your confrontation with Mr. Big. Vengeance can be yours if you live. Target Renegade, available for the Commodore, Spectrum, and Amstrad.
Talk about the third one. Right, Tracksuit Manager from Goliath Games. Right, we'll forget that one.
From Bo Jolly, the name behind the great games, Supreme Challenge.
Why have they got the tune from Close Encounters?
Ace 2 is the ultimate head-to-head conflict. High-speed, one or two pilot action, computer opponent, air-to-air and air-to-ground combat, real-time, real space action, two aircraft types and a variety of modern missiles. How will you survive? Beyond your wildest dreams in a world where the only force is pure energy stands the Sentinel. In Starglider, you command Novina's last airborne ground attack vehicle with limited weaponry and fuel and no apparent means of replenishment.
Right, okay, that's quite enough. Interesting. It's like an interesting thing to see. That was kind of back, when would it be? 1988, I think it was. So, listen, we've got a few more questions we're going to go through before we wrap it up for one night. So, let's get back. Right, I've got a question here from a person called Gaming Since the 70s. Great Waffle, 2 questions for you, mate. What is your favourite game by Bubble Bus Software? What is my favourite game? I can't even remember what games they did. They did Hustler, which I was going to let you see, but I think we're getting a bit too late now. Bubble Bus, what did they do? They did, in fact, you know what? It's going to be Exterminator by Ken Grant, I think it was. He did it. Exterminator was a version of a Centipede. I was playing it a few weeks ago. Great game. And number 2, now you're a red belt, can I hire you to kick the shit out of my neighbour who's frequently hammering and drilling at 2 AM? Bubble, of course, Jason, you're right. Actually, Starquake. Yeah, Starquake was a good game. It was really, it was kind of similar to sort of like Underworld type thing. Yeah, it was really, really, really nice. Yeah, listen, that is it, folks. That is all the questions. Unless you guys have got anything else to ask me, I'm going to get going. I will be back as always on Sunday, 7 o'clock until 9. Yeah, I'm just going to finish off with another one of my tunes. Again, it's a tune that's going to be takes me back to a happy time in the 80s. Like I says, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea. So let's just get back to this. What's that? No, we don't want that. Hang on, we don't want that. Media source. There we go. Right. Let me pick. What tune shall we play? Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to play if I can find it. Right, Mad Commodore, take care, buddy. You know what, I'm just going to have a wee... Let's see if I can find this. Yeah, this song absolutely cements the 1980s. This kind of, when I hear this song, I'm back in 1985, whenever it came out. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this, folks. Who wouldn't go back to the 80s? I certainly would. My favourite time. It was my era. Things were so much simpler back then. So much exciting technology. Computers were just new. Games were new. Life was simpler, as I said. Good evening, Gabo Hanzo. Listen, thank you, Gabo Hanzo. Thank you very much, Squire, joining us all the way from Chile. Technically, I'm in Chile, or I should say Chile, because it's cold outside. That was a shite joke. Listen, brilliant, fantastic to have people from all around the world tuning in. That is great. Listen, folks, I'm going to get going. A massive, massive thank you to every single person that's taking time to watch this tonight. You know, I always appreciate it. Friday nights are important. You know, you should be spending quality time with your friends, your family, your partners, whoever, and you choose to watch little old me talking pish. Anyway, folks, I will be back on Sunday, and as always, thank you very much for watching.